Hey guys, Mitsurugi Jones back with another look at Elite Dangerous. Now, I wanted to go over the cockpit display. This could be called many things. Your dashboard, your graphical user interface, a heads-up display, or a cockpit display. Now, as you can see here at the bottom strip, we have all that information, and we're going to go into each and every part of it so you can fully understand what all these different instruments in your cockpit does, what kind of information you can glean from it, and how to play the game better by utilizing it. Okay, first things first, we're going to go to the bottom left, and this is called the Target Information Panel. Now this is going to give you all sorts of information depending on what it is specifically that you're targeting. If you don't have anything targeted, it's going to basically show you your current location, where you're at, what the name of the system you're in, the government type, the main commodity market type, all of that kind of information. If you do target something specifically, whether it be a structure, a ship, it's going to show the commander's name. It's going to show the pilot's federation, his combat rating, criminal status, all that kind of information will be displayed in the left. Also, as you notice, it can also have the distance depending on if you've targeted a structure or star system or star base. Right next to it, we have the target schematic. Now, as you can see, it shows a graphical display of the actual ship. It will also show shields and the hull integrity, both represented by a percentage number, and the health bar as well. Now we have the navigational compass. Now, this is represented by a circle with a cross in the middle of it. Whatever object that you have targeted, whether it be a star base or a star itself or a ship, you want to line this up in the middle. Now, if that little white dot, if it's hollow, that means that the object is actually behind you. But when it is solid, you want to get that right up in between that cross, right in the hollow part of that cross, and when you do that, you are going directly at your target. It's very useful when you're looking for the star system you're traveling to next, or the star base that you need to land on. Then right underneath your navigation compass, you have your heat indicator. It is both represented by that little flame icon there with the number 48. Now that is the percentage of heat that is being taken by your system. Also, the bar there represents how much heat is being taken on. Now, when you do things like get too close to stars, or go into jump drive, or boost, or navigation too many times in a row, your starship starts to build up heat. And once it goes over the 100% heat level, systems will start to shut down and damage will occur to your hull. So it's very important that you try not to get over 100%. Now, right after you get up to 100%, you're at 101, it's not going to do a ton of damage. It's not going to destroy you. But the longer you're in a higher percentile over 100%, the more damage it does and the more systems will shut down to compensate. So if you get too close to a sun, say, and its gravitational pull, eventually it will destroy your ship. Now, the most important part of your entire dashboard is your sensors. That is the large circular display in the middle of your dashboard. Here is a close-up representation of it. You are that sort of little triangle there in the middle of that. As you can see, depending on if an object is above or below you, it's going to be a line with a box. Now, where that box is located on the line means that is where that particular target is from you. It's also important to note that there are 3 different colors for the radar. Red, obviously, is for a hostile target. Orange is for a neutral target, and green is for a friendly target. Also important to note is the difference between the rectangle and the box arrow, as I call it. I'm not really sure what that shape is called. It looks like a little house, I guess. But when you see that in your area, that means that whatever that target is, it has its hard points deployed. That generally means that means its weapons are out. So it's important to recognize when an object is a triangle versus a square. Also not represented on here is the fact that all of the solid squares or arrows are going to be non-player characters, whereas the hollowed out versions of those icons, whether it be the rectangle or the box arrow will represent a real-life human being. Those are ones to take very important note of, as, to be completely honest with you, an NPC pirate isn't that hard to get away from. Whereas, if you go up against a human opponent, there's a good chance they'll blow you out of the sky. Unless, of course, you're well-armed and well-armored, and you want to take them on, you might be the one who's chasing them. Now, as you can see here, this is the throttle control. Now, that thick orange segmented line is the speed that you are currently going. The blue pin area that comes out onto the side of the throttle is where you've set your speed to. So, if you're in regular space, you can move that blue pin all the way to the top, say, if you wanted to go to full throttle, and that orange thick segmented bar will follow it pretty quickly. Whereas if you're in Super Cruise, the little pin setting of your speed will, whereas you're in Super Cruise, that blue pin will move a little bit more slowly, but that thick orange segmented bar will move much more slowly. That thick orange segmented bar also is represented by that number at the top showing your speed in kilometers. This blue area that is highlighted is your sweet spot. When your speed is between the top and bottom of this blue bar, that represents your top maneuverability. So if you get into a dogfight, you probably want to slow down and stay within this blue optimal range. That way you can turn very quickly. You can make a circle round at your enemy very quickly. It just represents the pinnacle of maneuverability for your ship. Here's a display of your ship's schematic. Essentially what it does is it shows a picture of your ship in orientation. The blue concentric lines that surround the ship represent your shields, and the orange bar at the bottom and the percentile number represent the integrity of your hull. As your shields start to get torn off of the ship by weapons fire, they start to dim and finally disappear. Once that has been depleted, damage starts to concentrate into your hull, which is represented by the 100 percentile. As it goes down to 0, your ship will be destroyed. Next, you have your power distribution. Now, these are represented by the SYS, which stands for systems, which are your shields and your defensive modules. Engine, the ENG, which basically determines how much power you can put into your engines. Or weapons, WEP, it's basically your weapons power and control your offensive abilities. Also is the RST, which is to restore the power default distribution. These can be controlled by your arrow keys on your keyboard. You can put power into systems by pushing the left arrow, weapons to the right arrow, engines to the up arrow, and if you want to reset to standard, you can just hit down and it will reset. Next, you have your indicator lights. Now, if any of these lights are blue, meaning active, then you will not be able to jump into hyperspace or into Super Cruise. The mass locked means that you are near a heavy gravity area. You need to deploy your landing gear in order to dock with any space station, but it slows down your speed. And your cargo scoop is used to scoop up things like minerals if you are mining from an asteroid, cargo if you are pirating and killing other ships and taking their cargo, or just plain theft from other areas where basically things are floating in space. Finally, we have your fuel tanks. Your main tank is the large, thick orange bar at the bottom. Right above it is your reserve tank. Both of these bars have to be completely empty for you to run out of fuel. Last, we have the signature bar. This is the very top bar that is highlighted here, and the more agitated that bar is, the greater the distance your ship will appear on the sensors of enemy or other vessels. It looks sort of like a speech pattern or a volume, a representation of volume. It's sort of like your signature is noise that you make or create in space. In Elite Dangerous, there are many different ships, and while the dashboards do aesthetically change depending on which ship you buy or are traveling in, the actual graphical display is the same for every ship that you fly in Elite Dangerous. I hope that answers any questions you guys might have about the graphical user interface in your dashboard or cockpit. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching the guide. It's Mitz Jones, and we will check you guys next time.